We begin tonight with a look at the economy. Economist Courage Mate has challenged government to prioritize improving revenue mobilization and cutting down on expenditure to boost non-oil growth. He says this should be the priority of President Akufo-Addo's government as it enters its second year. Government is said to be happy with the growth in the economy, but experts say that has been largely based on growth in the oil sector. Assessing government performance for the first year in office, Courage Mate said government's performance in the second year should be assessed on how it is able to grow the non-oil sector. There's more in this report.
President Akufo-Addo officially assumes office on the 7th of January 2017 with the task of establishing a strong economy to enhance job creation and improve upon the living standards. Since then, a number of initiatives have been rolled out. These include a One District, One Factory program and a critical initiative for government industrialization agenda. The Planting for Food and Jobs initiative, as well as the One District, One Dam, were also introduced to boost the agriculture sector, which has been on the decline path for some time now. Economist Courage Mate further assesses the performance of the government.
From a macroeconomic perspective, I would say it's been satisfactory. And I would have to add that it doesn't mean that there is no more work to be done. But when you look at the macro numbers and what needs to be done from one state to the other, you first of all need to attain and restore macroeconomic stability. You need to ensure that the macro numbers are pointing in the right direction, because that is what will trigger investor confidence and private sector investment to support growth and inclusive growth that will lead to higher incomes. Now, if you look at the behavior of the forex market, we didn't start 2017 well, or the government did not start 2017 well because of the sharp depreciation of the cedi. But that was quickly reversed in the second quarter of 2017, and then we witnessed a broadly stable currency market to the end of the year and until now.
With a slowdown in the rate of debt accumulation and a rise in the GDP figures compared to the previous government, the current government is patting itself on the back of a job well done. But is that really the case?
Going forward, what is now being done is to find a way of not just improving on availability, but also trying to contain, the costs of power, so that businesses can have access to power in an affordable way that would not also cause higher, pricing pressures. And that signal has also been sent in the 2018 budget, where the finance minister proposed for consideration of the PURC a 13% or about 13% reduction in power tariffs for stakeholders to consider. I'll just say that I'll rate the government above average.
What should be the priority of President Akufo-Addo's government as it enters into the second year?
This year, I expect the government to prioritize expenditure in critical sectors of the economy to ensure that we stimulate or we jumpstart the engine of growth in the non-oil sector. Because one of the reasons why we experience substantial amount of growth, but we still are a bit cautious of what is happening in the economy, is the fact that non-oil sector remain weak. And you know that the non-oil sector accounts for more than 90% of our GDP, meaning that if you want an inclusive growth, if you want growth to trickle down, then you need to spend in the sector that will affect much of the people, and that's the non-oil sector. So I expect the government to channel and target those critical sectors.
The 2018 agenda for government is anchored on putting Ghana back to work again, from stabilization to growth. But for several other economists, it means there must be a change in strategy.
Now, away from that, Mayor of Accra, Mohammed Ejesoa, says the AMA will consider expanding the Kwame Nkrumah Circle pedestrian mall as part of measures to sustain the decongestion exercise which started today. Now, traders at the pedestrian mall have raised concerns over spacing and other setbacks that have persistently made the mall unattractive. Now, the mayor of Accra assures the expansion of the pedestrian mall is part of measures to complement the decongestion exercise and prevent hawkers from moving out onto the streets.
But here at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, one question remains unanswered: whether or not all affected traders who are being told to move all over the way to the pedestrian mall have the capacity to fill in all these people. We shall be exploring these concerns and getting the right answers. Upon a visit to the Kwame Nkrumah Circle Interchange Pedestrian Mall, a prominent concern is a lack of space and poor ventilation associated with the facility that was once established to contain the issue of street hawking. This challenge, coupled with other concerns of security and flooding, is what has driven many traders here to the streets of the Circle Interchange. But from today, these traders will have no choice than to return to the pedestrian mall. Kofi Asimenin is the secretary at the pedestrian mall. He tells Joy Business refurbishing the already dilapidated mall could help in attracting brisk business.
We want the AMA to refurbish this place. If it's going to be like a mall, we shall be very happy. Doing business here is very difficult. The floods, insecurity is so worrying. The AMA must step in.
We put the concerns of the traders to the mayor of Accra, Mohammed Ajay Soa, who was supervising the ongoing decongestion exercise by officials of the AMA during the time of our visit. He tells Joy Business expanding the pedestrian mall is a top priority for the AMA. According to him, this move will complement the ongoing decongestion exercise.
If you go to Tiptoe now, it's a closed lane that we've allowed petty trading to go on the Tiptoe lane. So we are trying to expand, but failure to give you space, it doesn't give you the right or authority to come and sell everywhere. If you continue to allow that, one day they will be selling in your studios, one day they will be selling in our houses. I don't think that's the way to go. It's a pedestrian mall. You are supposed to sell small wares. It's not a big mall. That's why we call it a pedestrian mall.
Meanwhile, the decongestion exercise is expected to be run on a daily basis through a 24/7 task force who have been deployed at some positions across major market areas in Accra. For Joy Business, Charles Aite reporting.
Now, the National Petroleum Authority has sent a strong signal. It will be suspending operations of some oil companies in the marine gasoline distribution business. This action has become necessary due to the abuse of the tax holiday granted in fuel bunkering activities along the shores of the country. Acting Chief Executive of the NPA, Hassan Tampoli, disclosed this in a speech during the rebranding launch for Frims Oil in Accra. Now, according to him, investigations over the weekend have revealed many of the products found on the Ghanaian market are illegal. He also disclosed that government will be imposing tax on all marine gas oil.
And the volumes have been increasing over time. And we observe that there has been some 2,000% increase in the demand. Now, this cannot be mathematically feasible. So we have to interrogate the demands. We checked, and we checked again. It turns out that some of the vessels that were claimed to be bunkered were not even in Ghana. So somebody takes the products and immediately dumps it on the Ghanaian markets without paying the necessary taxes, levies, and margins. Now, when we checked again, we saw that even when the vessel was in the country, the volumes that they requested was far in excess of the capacity of the vessel. Again, something is wrong. So as at Friday, when we began checking up, and this morning, we are going to suspend operations of MGO, and we have, in collaboration again with the Ministry of Finance, proposed the imposition of taxes, levies, and margin on all marine gas oil to discourage the criminal elements from distorting the markets. Now, you not only distort the market, but you create an avenue for businesses which want to do genuine business to begin to follow you because they can't compete with you. If they can't compete with you, what happens? They have to lay off their workers. Now, the business of the government is to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive, to create jobs. Now, we have said that we do not intend to create jobs necessarily in the public sector, but to give opportunities for the private sector to operate, expand, and create more jobs. Now, what is happening right now is something that goes contrary to the avowed aims of the government, and we will stop at nothing to stop this very bad practice.
Now, interest in organic and sustainable products is assuming growing levels in Ghana. In this regard, many people are coming up with initiatives to help you eat and stay healthy. Native Food and Beverages, one of such new businesses, serves food made from organically grown sources whilst creating awareness on healthy living.
In recent times, organic food products awareness have been on the rise in Ghana as people emphasize healthy living. According to the Managing Director of Native Food and Beverages, Ruth Akron, the idea of establishing an eatery that serves meals made from organically grown local food products was to promote healthy local and African cuisine in quality environment. It is also to encourage better eating lifestyles through the food it serves customers.
We are getting all our fruits and vegetables from organic farms here in Ghana. We're planning to open native food and beverage bars across the country. We hope to be one of the leading healthy cafes in Ghana. A lot of people are very excited about our concept, and we are also excited to because everybody wants to adapt, how, other countries have their sandwiches and all that, which I think is sort of unhealthy, because you get a sandwich from any of these cafes and they are all soggy. They have, there's mayonnaise in all of them, and it's, it looks really soggy and unhealthy. So Ghanaians are really, yes, they are really excited.
On her part, Brands and Marketing Director of Native Food and Beverage Bar, Edubie AC says, due to the busy nature of work schedules, many Ghanaians are left with the option of eating junk foods during the day, as well as eating beyond 6 p.m., which is detrimental to their health.
The whole concept is about an alternative to junk eating. Okay, we find out that most of the time, especially with corporates, our eating habits are not helping us very much, because we are more into fast foods, and native is a preferred alternative that has come in to more or less rescue all of us. Okay, we need to be eating well, stay healthier, so that we can be able to work better.
The organic grown foods, the next food business in Ghana.
Well, still on the subject of food, spaghetti, also known as talia here in Ghana, has become one of the very common part of a meal here in Ghana. And though it's more prominent in Italian cuisines, African dishes like jollof rice and beans, popularly called wache, in Ghana will not be complete without talia. Our firm's Kwesi Deborah takes us into a local processing hub in Kumasi as he explores the potential of the industry in the face of growing foreign competition.
A roller machine at work is operated by middle-aged Humu Ahmed Ali. Her family has been producing local pasta in this space at Kumasi Roman Hill for over 50 years.
I learned the trade from my mother. She started it, and I took over. She's now old and weak.
After working on the dough, her 21-year-old shoemaker's son, Ahmed, smears oil on the surfaces to prevent sticking.
Before I depart for work, I help her from 7 to 11 a.m.
After several pieces, it's now time to cut out the pasta. As Ahmed prepares the machine, her sister Adiza brings the drying tray. The dough is then watered for smooth cutting. Mumu acquired this pasta making machine 10 years ago. Pastas are arranged in 3 vertical and horizontal rows. After drying for 4 hours, it would have been the end. Competition from foreign brands led to a change in operation.
The foreign brands resulted in low sales, so we decided to roast it to a brownish shade, and sales soared. The brown one swells as well.
She has been using this small oven for many years. It can take 2 trays at a time. When it's done, it's left for a few hours to cool off and then packaged. One goes for a city. Though the single mother of 4 makes a decent income, Mumu believes it can be better.
I've catered for my children with this business. I cater for them up to senior high school level. There are so many youth walking around without employment. If I get a bigger place and better equipment, these people can be employed and have a decent living.
Smoky and delicious. Unfortunately for this big community, she's the only one involved in this business. What if there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? That means the unemployment rate would definitely dwindle. From Roman Hill, Kumasi, reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
We'll still stay in the Ashanti region because local agrochemical producer Neo Calf Industries is utilizing herbs and other materials to produce cocoa and other cash crop insecticides. The product AF Confidence Organic, which is a mix of herbs and ginger, is certified by the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana. Ghana Cocoa Board currently uses the product as part of chemicals for the national cocoa spraying exercise. However, officials of the company are pushing for full adoption of the local product. Lava Firm's Erastus Asaidonko visited the production plant at Ibuakwa near Kumasi, from where he filed this report.
The company deploys an age-old Ghanaian technique known as puakro in its production process. It combines a variety of herbs, grass and ginger as main components.
We mill them. When we mill them together after, then we go to where we sieve them. From the sieving place, then we will store it. And after storing, then we go to the bottling side and bottle it. So this is the beginning of the process of our product called... this is a champon, concroma, grasses. That is where we begin. Different species. We have about 35 species of leaves that we use to produce this product.
Concerns about increasing chemical residue in cocoa beans meant for export are very prominent. Love News has, however, cited documents on studies into the product by Cocoa Research Institute. They reveal active ingredient in dry cocoa beans is below detection level. Kwesi Buama Adumako is commercial director at New Okaf Industries. He believes full adoption of the AF Confidence for mass cocoa spraying will be a boost to local initiative.
We are appealing to the government. As the government is buying insecticide for the farmers, you should come and buy indigenous insecticide, which is multi-purpose, so that we can also get money to expand our business, and we can likewise employ more people, and that will also benefit the country and the government as a whole.
So far, what has been government's response through Cocoa Board?
Yeah, last year they gave us a contract which is very minimal as compared to what we think that they can do. So now if they can expand the contract, that will be better for us.
How does this tie into government's one district, one factory?
Absolutely. This is an indigenous company that employs people to reduce unemployment in the country. So if one district, one factory, if we are included, it also helps to employ more people so that the young ones who are coming, and even the young farmers who want to engage in agriculture, can also be well taken of.
New Okaf Industries has so far developed and produced assorted soap and cream for the local market. Its flagship products are the AF Confidence insecticide and snake repellent solutions. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Love FM, Kumasi.
Well, if you're a lover of coconut, you can now get to enjoy it in a more satisfying and hygienic manner. This is because one vendor in Accra is employing an innovative technique to serve customers. JoyNews' Frank Addo has been engaging the vendor who uses a dispenser to chill the juice before serving it in disposable cups.
Many young men make a living selling coconut across the country. It is common to find them pushing wheelbarrows or trucks with several coconuts arranged in them. Though highly patronized, buyers who care about hygiene probably wonder why the often over-sharpened machetes used in cracking the coconut are black in color, with vendors often appearing unkempt. But the story of Bright Ashan is different. He is giving a facelift to the trade by employing an innovative way to serve his customers. He first empties the juice from the coconut into a dispenser, which chills it before packaging the juice in disposable cups for customers. Bright says abandoning the traditional way of selling coconuts and embracing a new and hygienic method has saved his business.
Selling on the track has not been helping at all. So I decided to go into mobile coconut business. People are happily buying it due to its chillness. I sell 100 pieces of coconut a day when business is slow. The profit on it is far better than those selling on the track.
For patrons, the catch is the fact that they are able to enjoy their coconut juice chilled and fruit well packaged under hygienic conditions. Though the usual price for coconut is 2 cedis, paying an extra 50 pesos for it is not a bother for them at all.
This one is quite hygienic. It's quite hygienic because at least it has been chilled and it has been packaged in a nice disposable cup. And in fact, he doesn't use his hand as well. He has other tools that he used to pick out the main food from the coconut itself. So it's quite hygienic.
Yeah, I think I prefer this one, and this is what I always take. Apart from this, I don't take the one on the tracks. The simple reason is that you see that this is more hygienic. When they cut the coconut, they sieve it, they pour it into a kind of sieve, and then all the dirt is sieved. And then they chill it, they make it cold. So apart from it's hygienic, where you don't have these dirty particles, it also gives that flavor. You have a nice flavor when you are taking it. And health-wise, it is good. That is why I always purchase this kind of this thing, prefer to the track one.
However, not every coconut vendor is enjoying a boom in business. This man, who is still selling his coconut the traditional way, is unhappy about low patronage.
Selling on the track is somehow good. Since morning, I've been able to sell a little. Yesterday, I brought 100 pieces of coconut, but was able to sell only 50 because market was not good.
For Bright, a change in how he operates his mobile coconut business is helping him earn a living, which he is grateful for. Frank Addo's report for Joy News.
Well, time to bring you our interview of the day, still on the performance of the President Akufo-Addo's government in the first year of office. Government may have ended last year making strong gains in stabilizing the economy and meeting macroeconomic targets, but how can this feat be sustained, and are there any possible challenges ahead? That's the question we posed to Dr. Eric Osesibe.
Interview of the day.
The situation is clear. The indicators are quite clear that they are all moving in the right direction. Inflation is likely to end the year at about 11.2% as was projected. The fiscal deficit of about 6% is likely to be the case. GDP growth rate has in fact exceeded or is likely to even exceed the target. monetary policy rate is on the downward trend, treasury board rates, and all of that. So most of the indicators are on the right track, and therefore, unless there's any big shock, to the economy, I do not think that we're going to deviate that much from the target.
What will be the impact of this on the confidence builder, if I should use that word in quote, and booster for the economy in terms of those who are dealing with government, the investors, and all the rest? That you said that you would end the year with X expenditure. You are on track. Inflation is inching closer to this. How would this impact on the economy going forward into 2018?
Yes, obviously it's going to have a positive impact. It demonstrates government commitment to fiscal discipline and also government's ability to effectively manage the economy. And therefore that would show up some confidence in the economy. And trust and confidence is everything in economic management. If your potential investors begin to trust your judgment and your policies, and they know that there is policy coherence and policy consistency, they begin to believe you and they begin to bring their money. And so I'm sure that if this continues and we are able to achieve this target, we are going to see a lot more inflows.
Interview of the day.
And thanks for making a date. That'll be it for Business Live. My name is Daryl Kwa. We are back same time tomorrow.